thanks for tuning into Naturally Tanya. So today I just wanted to talk to you guys a little bit about just some tips for natural hair, whether you have just big chopped or you're thinking about it or you're transitioning, or if you're already natural and you're just in a little bit of a rut and you want to, revamp some things. Yeah, these aren't going to be in any kind of particular order. I just kind of wanted to, I did jot down a few things, but I'm just going to kind of speak off the top of my head based on the fact that I do get this question more times than not from people. And so I'm just going to kind of give you guys the things that I've learned through my experiences that I think are helpful and that work. I have been natural since March of 2015, for those of you who are curious. And yeah, so to start off, I just want to say I do think that my first tip would be to just be patient. Be patient when you're on this natural hair journey, because let me tell you, natural hair is going to try you. It can be very trying. I mean, I love my hair, but there are days where I'm just like, I don't want to detangle, I don't want to do anything. Like, I might just be frustrated with, with life. I don't know, just everything. So you just need to be patient. I do think that sometimes naturals, especially if you big chop, sometimes we are in a rush to have length. Let's see, let's say that again. Focus on the health and not the length. Too many naturals out here holding on to these brittle, sad, little damaged, straggly ends. That's not length retention, boo. That's not what that word means. You just out here looking crazy, looking wild. Like, holding on to them damaged ends. That's not, I know you think that means your hair is down here, but in reality, it's up here, because if all this is damaged, what you holding on to it for? Like, hurry up, snip, snip, so that hair can be healthy and grow and actually, look right. Nothing, I just like, it hurts my heart, I should say. It really does hurt my heart when I'm out and I see people with, like, the roots, it's nice and luscious and the curls are popping, and then you get to the end and you just see like straightness. It's just damage. You got the multiple textures going on, and then it's just like, just let it go. Let it go. Just let it go. It's not helping you. It's not doing nothing. It's just got you looking crazy out here. So yeah, trim when your hair needs to be trimmed, and definitely focus on the health, because if you're focusing on the health, the length will come. You will retain more length when your hair is healthy. That's just the fact. Don't put that kind of pressure on yourself, and especially not on your hair strands. You want to focus on things that are going to help your hair to be healthy, so that it can flourish, so that it can grow. Damaged hair is not growing in any kind of healthy manner. Like, hurry up and cut them things off so you can get to, having healthy hair that can actually grow. And that's the way you're going to have, length retention, is if your hair is healthy. So that's what you should be focusing on, not the length. And I know sometimes that can be tricky, because for me, I grew up in the 90s, and sometimes I do think that that was the image that was portrayed as beautiful, is, like long flowing hair. But just forget all that. Like, you're fly just the way you are. Appreciate the stage that you're at in your, wherever you're at in your natural journey, because before you know it, you'll be out of that phase and on to a next, and you're gonna miss, you're gonna look back and be like, man, I miss that teeny weeny little afro, that TWA that I had. Because I know that I miss mine for sure. I definitely, now looking back, I mean, I do think I enjoyed my little fro. I'll try to post a picture of that somewhere. Maybe I'll insert it or I'll leave a link. I'm not sure. But I do look back and I miss my little short, cute afro. And at first, I didn't even appreciate it that much. I was kind of like in a rush to do other things with my hair. And then I had to realize, like, no, I need to make sure that, like, the hairs, the short little hairs I got on my head right now, let me make sure that they're good so that it can get longer, because I don't want them to just break off and then I'm just, on the struggle bus. Don't want to be on the struggle bus. So, yep, that's definitely a tip. Just be patient. Enjoy each stage that you're at, whether you have a TWA or you're at, shoulder length, you're, at ear length, wherever you are. Just enjoy the journey and be patient and focus on the health of your hair. The next thing, speaking on that, the next thing that I would go into is just, I do think it's important to also have a hair care routine. That's something I started off strong with doing because I don't know, I just think consistency is important. And to me, this includes things like having a healthy diet, staying hydrated, setting your wash days or wash day, whatever it is that works for you in your lifestyle. I mean, just set it, stick to it, boom, it's done. Early on, I used to do 2 wash days where I would co-wash in the middle of the week because I do work out throughout the week. So, sometimes all that build up on the scalp, all that sweat, not cute. So I would co-wash on Wednesdays, and then Saturdays would be my like kind of hair spa day. That's when I would do like my wash, my deep conditioner, give my hair that extra little bit of TLC that it needs. But I was like really consistent with that. Like I would make plans around that. If you want to see me on a Wednesday, like in the daytime, sorry, boo, it's wash day. You can come over, watch me wash my hair, but like it's wash day. I wouldn't really sacrifice those days. Like that would be consistency is important with your hair care regimen. And even if you fall off the wagon, it's okay. Sometimes people fall off the wagon, when you want to diet and like the salad is there, but then the burger's there, so you eat the burger. But it's okay, the next day you can get back on and have the salad. It's the same thing. If you fall off a little bit with the hair care, just hop right back on. You don't want to just be off the wagon for weeks, months, and then your hair's breaking, falling off, and then you're like, oh, but I'm not retaining length. That's why. So yeah, consistency. And also being realistic about the time that you have to take care of your hair and when you're like setting your hair care days out, because if you know your process is gonna take you like 3 hours, don't leave only an hour to do it. Like you setting yourself up for failure, hun. Like you can't succeed with that. It's not the move. Don't. So be realistic about how long it takes you to do your hair or to care for it, and make sure you leave the appropriate amount of time to make sure that gets done. It's very important. Also, I would say with that, also don't do things like detangling if you're really not in the mood, because then you just end up taking it out on your poor strands. Like I only detangle my hair when my heart and mind is ready, like has to be prepped, because my hair is pretty thick and coarse, and if I'm already annoyed with something else, the last thing I need is to find a knot. Because instead of like where I would normally take the time to like, I'm usually real tedious with my detangling, and I will try my best to separate that knot out before I reach for some scissors or anything like that. But when you're like already frustrated, like that'll be the first thing you do, is like you're just cutting hair out, ripping it out. You just get kind of abrasive with your own strands, and that's also it's not good. So only care for your hair when you're mentally ready to, especially if it's gonna be, you already have an idea that it's gonna be like a trying process if you know that you haven't detangled in like 5 years. I'm exaggerating. But if you know it's gonna be a task, like make sure your all hearts and minds are prepared for the journey ahead. Also, something that is definitely helpful is to protective style the right way, because let's be clear, there are some definitely wrong ways to protective style. Protective styling should not be something that's going to be invasive on your hair, something that's going to hurt your strands, or something that's going to be pulling at them, tugging at them, stressing them out. The whole point of a protective style is so that your hair could just relax, kick back, grow, do its thing untouched. Sometimes this works better for some people more than others. For me personally, my hair thrives when it's in a protective style and I'm not touching it for a little bit and I'm not doing anything to it, I'm not harassing it, and it could just live its life. That's when my hair flourishes. I would mostly protective style in the wintertime because I want to make sure my ends are tucked away from that harsh, cold air. So that's usually when it'll be like all winter, my hair will be covered up. And I'll usually, right now, I'd say the top protective styles for me, I'll either wig it out or I will do mini twists. I like wigs because it doesn't disrupt my hair care routine. Like I could still be taking care of my hair and my hair is like nicely tucked away underneath, and I could switch it up, have different looks without actually, you know, physically doing things to my actual hair strands, if that makes sense. So I do like wigs. I know sometimes people can be a little apprehensive in starting out, you know, wearing wigs. A lot of times we feel like, oh, we're gonna look wiggy, but I'm telling you, wigs done right, you'll be hooked. I love a good wig. I also like mini twists because I don't know. I think mini twists are fun. Sometimes I get bored with having my hair one way. So I think that mini twists allow me, like, I can still style my hair in mini twists, especially when the weather is nice, without actually physically doing a lot of manipulation to the actual hair strands, you know? So yeah, I like mini twists. I might actually do some of that real soon. But yeah, protective style the right way. If you're gonna do things like Brock's braids and all those other, I love braids, don't get me wrong, but you want to make sure that you're not pulling on your edges, because some of us are out here wondering why we don't have any edges, and it's because we're always pulling on them. You got this super long, like it's tight, like your skin is pulled back here. You got like this look going on, like I can't bend down your head because there's like it's gonna hurt. It should not be that painful. That's not a protective style. That's just torturous on your strands. And it's not gonna work. You can't do that to your hair all the time and think that it's gonna flourish. That's not a proper protective style. You should not, your edges should not be like being pulled on. Like me personally, if you start grabbing onto my edges, if I'm getting my hair done too tight, it's done. Party done. I'm like, it's okay, you know what? I'm good. I'm out. Because I want them to stay right where they are. I don't want them to, you know, get tired and feel like they can't hang on for life any longer and just fall out, and then we're out here looking wild. So yeah, you gotta be careful. At the hair around your hairline, they're really sensitive. Edges are so sensitive that you just can't be tugging on them like that. You should not. Anything tugging, pulling on the hair consistently, it will fall out. So protective style, you got to be careful with the braids and who's installing them and making sure that they're not, you know, pulling on your poor little edges too much. And also, I guess frequency of that is important. Yeah, you can't like constantly be pulling on your edges and expect them not to commit suicide. They will commit suicide after a while. So yeah, I think I covered pretty much everything that I think is key when you're first starting out, and I guess just throughout your natural, you know, journey. Just, you know, you just want to focus on the health of the hair, keeping yourself and your hair hydrated at all times, and not stressing yourself out with unrealistic expectations. You know, everyone's hair grows at different rates too. So just because your hair is not growing as fast as somebody else, you know, you don't gotta be upset or put pressure on it or think that, you know, you're less than. You're not. In its own time, your hair is doing its thing. Like, you just want to make sure that it's healthy so that it can grow. And period, point blank. That's it. Don't compare yourself to other naturals or other people and be trying to get results that are exactly like theirs. Ooh. It's interesting. That just got all sore throaty all of a sudden, got all harsh. Sorry about that. But yeah, don't compare yourself. Just, your journey is your own. Appreciate your hair every step of the way. Love yourself. You are beautiful. Your natural is beautiful. I guess that's where I'll leave off on, is just, again, especially with textures, not comparing your texture or your growth rate to anyone else, just because sometimes for me, I can only speak about my experiences, and when I was growing up, you know, my type of textured hair was not cute. Like, that's not what you saw on TV all the time. It's not what was represented, really. And so I always grew up feeling like I had the worst hair in the world. And that's why I think initially, that's why I was so like eager to relax my hair, because I was like, I wanted that. We were showing, you know, that bone straight hair that moves type of thing. So it took me a long time to just embrace the hair that grows out of my scalp, and to know that it's beautiful, and that you know, other textures are beautiful too. You know, I consider myself to be 4C. If you are just type 4 hair in general, or type 3 hair, you know, all hair textures are beautiful. I don't think anyone is more, is better than the other, or, people sometimes make unnecessary comparisons. But don't do that to your own self. Know that your natural is beautiful, and just be confident and just focus on the health of your hair, and everything else is going to fall into place. Like, boom. That's it. So I don't really want to continue rambling on for too much longer, but thank you guys for watching. And if you are not already subscribed, I mean, boo, what you doing? Go ahead, subscribe, turn your notifications on, follow me on social media. Like, yes, let's be friends. It's okay. But yeah, thanks for watching, and until next time, bye, my loves. A protective style is supposed to be something that a style you do, put your hair in, that, you're not going to touch it for a week or more, and just let your hair do its thing. So now I'm done with that rambling. I would also say you want to make sure that you are keeping your hair strands moisturized. Moisture. Water is our friend. Yeah, I feel like that's self-explanatory, but yet it's a step that so many people are like missing, or they just fail to properly moisturize. Like water is like life for natural hair. Like, you don't have to be afraid anymore. I know when I had a relaxer, water was like the kryptonite. Like, ooh, I'm not trying to shrink. No, I don't want no shrivels coming up in this, sleek, straight hair. But when you're natural, I mean, you don't have to worry. You're not gonna melt if you put some water in your hair. Your hair like thrives with water. That's why one of my favorite things to do is I always have my spray bottle with my aloe vera and water mixture. Like that, my strands just soak that right on up. You want to make sure that you don't leave your hair in a dry state ever at all. Yeah, I definitely, even at nighttime sometimes, I just will spritz my hair with the aloe vera water mixture. Boom, boom. I don't even like apply it directly to like my hair, not like this. I kind of just like spray up in the air, let it fall on my strands, put on my scarf or my bonnet. Sometimes I might do like a little shower cap if I'm doing some kind of like wash and go-ish type puff or style. It just helps you to retain the water in your hair without, like, while you sleep, without your hair being like too wet or too dry in the morning when you wake up. I don't know if that makes sense, but that's something that I do at nighttime to help keep my hair moisturized. And I mean, again, it's just about trial and error and figuring out what works for your hair, for you. Like, you should know what your hair looks like when it's moisturized. Like, when it's fully wet, what it looks like is moisturized. Everything else that you do once you have saturated your hair with water is just to help keep the water in. But you can't, moisturizing your hair is not just, it doesn't start with products. Like, that's not what this is. It should always start with water, something that's water based. That's what's going to provide moisture and keep your strands nice and hydrated, nice and plump and juicy. They should not be looking like the Sahara Desert out here. That's not cute. Not cute. So again, look for products when you're talking moisture, things that a moisturizer is going to have water in there. Should be top ingredient. Like, we've heard this on YouTube all the time. Like, that's just, and people still not doing it. And I'm like, what you doing? You know this. Moisturizers are not, putting moisture in your hair does not require 10,000 products. It requires you to put some water, H2O, on them strands, and then you just want to lock it in. That's all. That's all. But it's very important. I feel like dry hair is eventually going to lead to breakage and a bunch of other issues. And again, if you want to retain the length here, you got to moisturize. That's something that's going to help you with nice and healthy hair. Yeah, I think that those things are pretty much the top tips that I have. I also, something that I'm not sure if I said when I was speaking about routine, is also keep things simple. Don't make, like, to me, natural hair, it doesn't require like 10 million steps to maintain. Find something that works for you and your schedule and your lifestyle, again, and stick to it. Also with that, I don't think I said this. Beware of becoming a product junkie. I could say this because these are confessions of a product junkie. I definitely early on just started like I would be in the store, hair store, and I see all these different things I want to grab, I want to try. Like my hair stash, it looks pretty ridiculous. It really does. Sometimes I'm ashamed to, like, when I open it up and I look at it, I'm like, these are too many products, Tanya. Too many products. Um, but again, yeah, just beware of that, because again, I hear sometimes people complain that like natural hair is expensive to maintain or to upkeep, and it can be, but I do think that you're in control of that. You know what your budget is, you know how many coins you have, like your hair can flourish accordingly. Um, there are lots of inexpensive ways to make your own cleansers, your own shampoos and conditioners, things that you already have in your house that doesn't need to be like, you don't need to buy a $50 conditioner in order to have healthy hair. That's not, like, if you choose to, that's fine. Most of them, so some of them, they work well. Again, it's on you. Stay in your lane. Live within your lane. I'm a strong believer in that. So having natural hair, set a budget, whatever it is you can realistically spend, and then you do your best and to create a routine around that budget that works for your hair. Now, I do get that some of this is trial and error, which is a little bit of the reason why I ended up with so many products, is that sometimes I would buy something, try it, and then I might not like return it right away. I may just like keep it and be like, it didn't work that great, but maybe I'll use it for something else. I won't use it for what its intended purpose is. Sometimes I'll give them away. There's just different things that happen, but I would say just be realistic with the things that you're buying, and also don't shy away from the fact that as your hair grows, your texture might change a little bit, or things that were working for you when your hair was shorter may not work when your hair is longer, and vice versa, because that did happen to me as well, where there were products that I literally loved using, and then as my hair was growing, they just weren't doing the same things for me, so I had to retire them, or I just use them for something differently all entirely. But just don't overdo it. Like, it doesn't take 25 products for a wash a day. Like, sometimes there's literally, I use like 5 products or less. Yeah, I really, I try to keep it really simple. So you don't need to overdo it. Don't blame your natural hair for why you're spending so much money on products. Like, it's you. You wanted to spend the money. I'm sorry. Might sound harsh, but I feel like we're in control of our own budgets and how we spend our money, and natural hair does not have to be like super expensive to maintain. Because I know that I don't have an endless, amount of coins, and I feel like my hair is doing just fine. So if I could do it, trust me, you can do it. So yeah, just beware of becoming a product junkie, because you don't want to waste your coins on unnecessary products. Yeah, that's all we got. So yeah, I think that's all that I have for today. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel if you're not already, because if you've made it to this point, I mean, go ahead, subscribe, turn the little bell on. You don't want to miss a thing. Don't forget to follow me on social media, and thanks again for watching. Until next time, bye loves.